are you feeling?
Phenomenal, you know. The thing that it was frustrating for me, but it was a benefit, thankfully. Really, besides having the sniffles, I didn't have one other symptom. So, I mean, I never even had a headache the whole time. So, you know, which is, like I said, thankfully, because I know some people have struggled with it, but I was, you know, that's why it was frustrating, because I'm like, I'm fine, come on, let me back. You know, so no, it was the longest 10 days of my life.
So what is Joe Barry like watching Thursday night's game?
Oh, God, I'm sure my wife would have a different mindset. You know, I was stuck down in the basement, so you know, because we still have we have twin boys still in the house, and then my oldest is working remotely, so we still have, you know, they're all vaccinated, but you know, I have people in the house, so thankfully we have an area down in the basement that I was kind of secluded down for about 7 days. So, but it was strange. It was thankfully it was I don't think I've ever said a positive thing about playing an early Thursday night game, except the fact that, you know, you know, we got it. I didn't have to wait till Sunday, because it was. But it was a little bit of a out of body experience, you know, watching your team play and you not being there. So, but the guys did a phenomenal job. You know, I think the entire defensive staff, Coach Gray, Coach Alvadotti, you know, J-Mo, Mike, RD, just tip my hat to them, and obviously the players. And I think what a great illustration of, you know, a team win. You know, on a short week against a great team. You know, add into the fact that, you know, Devontae and Lazard weren't there. You know, so I just think it was an incredible group effort by those guys. You know, we possessed the ball for, you know, almost 39 minutes. You know, so it was incredible.
You had mentioned a few weeks ago, Joe, obviously how upset you were that San Francisco went the length of the field at the end of the game and scored. So when you're watching in your basement and Arizona goes from the 1 yard line,
Yeah.
I mean, what were you going through there? Like, what was that like?
Well, you know, I think you got to almost, you almost have to, you know, we preach all the time, you know, make them earn everything, you know, make them earn every blade of grass. And, you know, it's not a touchdown until they cross the goal line, you know, so, but I'd be lying to you, you know, we had them 3rd and 10, you know, backed up, and gave up that play got thrown over our head. But no, it was as weird as this sounds, it was probably in the setting that I was in my basement watching it on TV, it was probably more agonizing than actually being there in person, you know, because it was just like, oh my God, are they going to do this, you know? But it's just a great for everybody. That's why you play every play, you know, and it's not over until the final tick comes off the clock. And you know, I think it was, and you know, as many storylines as you want to get into. What a great way for Zool to end the game, you know, from a team that he was previously on, and I mean, a heck of a play by him against two great players, you know, obviously Kyler and AJ. So I was really happy for Zool, because that was a huge play.
Is Rasul a guy that, with the way he's played, not just that play, but in the past few games since coming here, is he a guy that you can't maybe take off the field right now, no matter who is on the field, even if Kevin comes back?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you guys know my standard line. You cannot have enough corners in this league, you know. So I think the way Zool's been playing, the way Eric's been playing, you know, Kevin coming back, I mean, that's a positive, you know, hopefully. Now, we're still many weeks down the road, but, you know, we'll get Ja back. You can't have, you know, I've told you guys 100 times, you cannot have enough corners and pass rushers in this league. So, to me, that's a great thing.
Hey, Joe, with all the injuries that you guys have had with the corners, just how important have Adrian and Darnell and having that combo on the back end, been there to kind of get through?
Huge. Is that a fine? Is that a fine? Do you guys find in, do you guys find in this room? Is that a finable offense?
We don't make enough. You gotta find-
Okay, you got to bring pizza and Cokes next week.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are, I think Darnell is just such a young, he brings energy, brings that juice every day. And then Adrian is, kind of he's in his 8th year and he's kind of the elder statesman of the group. But both those guys combined, I think their demeanors, their personalities, their approach to the game, they really play off each other really, really well. And, to answer your specific question, I think it's been huge for us to have those guys because that consistency there with those two positions has been huge for us. And both of them in their own unique way bring so many things. But, Adrian just being the calming veteran that he is. And he kind of, we talk about, you got to have a, don't be a passenger on the bus, drive the bus. And he truly drives the bus back there. He is the leader of that group and really does a great job of just, I think, and I've said it to you guys before, I think the job that really all three of those guys did, early on, 3 being, Adrian, Darnell, and Jair, really taking Eric underneath their wing. I remember, when we'd have our evening walkthroughs during training camp, during two-a-days, that the 4 of them, when the offense would be going, the defense would be waiting, the 4 of them would be off, in the corner doing things together, talking and subtly working on football, but kind of just being together. That's a special room. It's a special group of guys. And I think when we have had, we've had quite a bit of lineup changes back there. But the consistency we had with those 2 safeties has been huge, and Sully. I don't want to not include him because he's been a great veteran, presence for us as well.
So where does the challenge start this week for you? Mahomes is still Mahomes. I realize he hasn't had a great year. They haven't scored 1 million points, but they moved the ball quite a bit. So where's the challenge there?
Yeah, the biggest thing, the thing that's really hurt them is them just, simply turning the ball over, and I think that's something that obviously we got to do everything humanly possible to keep that trend going. But, yeah, I agree. They still got, 15, 10, 87. Those are 3 of the best players in our league. Obviously, all 3 of them are, as far as a quarterback, a tight end, and a receiver, they're the tops at their position. So the biggest thing is it's the same thing that we kind of preach all the time. Let's not give up the explosion play. Let's keep the ball inside and in front of us. Let's make them earn every single blade of grass that they gain. There's no free yards. So I think that's kind of the common theme every single week. That's the way we approach every game plan. But this week especially because they live and die on the explosion play, on the big play. So we got to keep making them earn everything, and if we can keep taking the ball away at a positive clip, it's going to help us as well.
It's like every defense against them plays a mile off of Hill because he's so fast.
Yeah.
I hate to ask something game plan related, so maybe you can kind of skirt around it, but with Stokes' speed, can you maybe play a little bit more aggressive against him, or is he just so fast that you just have to kind of, like I said, just not let the ball go over your head?
Yeah, I think that's a slippery slope when you do that with Hill, just because he is so explosive and so dangerous and so fast. But that's kind of our style and our approach anyways, is that we're going to keep a nice umbrella and a nice shell over the top of everything, and again make you earn everything. So that's kind of the way we approach every single week.
Joe, it's hard to be a good defense in this league, and the league has made it harder, frankly, right? With some of the things that are advantages.
It's an offensive world, and we're living in it. Yep.
So, I remember when you got here and you talked about the scars that you're proud of, that you've run defenses that have had their struggles. I know you're not going to get complacent, but you have to feel pretty damn good about what your defense has done these last 7 games, including with the guys you're missing. Where do you kind of feel like this defense is at, and where can it still go?
Well, I do think, it starts with the group of guys that we have in that locker room, and I stand up here every week, and I truly believe this in my heart, is that it's a great group of guys that come to work every single day. I think you guys have gotten to know me well enough the last few months here. I'm big on consistency. Whether it's me, whether it's a player, I want everyone to be exactly the same every day, and I think that's what's allowed us, to currently where we're at right now. I think that's a big reason, is that the guys have come and they've punched the clock every single day, and they've come to work every single day, whether it's a Wednesday or whether it's game day. And have we been perfect? Have we done everything to where we're achieving to where we're trying to get to? Not yet, but I tell you what, with the attitude that we have in that locker room and the coaching staff that we have, it's a blast to come to work every day, because guys they want to get better. They want to learn, they want to play, and no one really cares about who gets the credit. Great example today. It was announced with Devondre, and he was like, he basically, we didn't have a cake party for him, but I mean, we did mention it, and he literally was like, hey, thanks guys, that's great, but hey, today's third down. Let's get on with our day. Let's get better today. And that's the type of approach that he took, and it was cool that he didn't want any praise. He just wants, hey, it's all about the team. It's all about the 11 guys that are on the field. It's all about us as a unit, not us as individuals. And I think that's what's allowed us to get to 7-1. And by no means are we there yet? Absolutely not. But that's what's great about this group, is that they come in every single day. They want to work. They want to grind. They want to be coached. And that's exciting. It's a great group of guys.
What did you think about the zero blitz call on the last play? And because you guys haven't blitzed a ton in the red zone. What did you think of that?
Shoot, I thought it was great. We had a game-winning interception on it, so I thought it was incredible.
Was it a call you would make normally?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We did it twice against Washington, the week before. One on the 4th and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and then Amos made a heck of a play on a similar pressure the week before. So, I think I think as a play caller, I'm sure offensive coaches feel the same way. There's a time and a place where you gotta put all your chips in the middle of the table and be all in, and especially in those situations down in the red zone, you have to be willing to do that, and that's something that we've done and will continue to do.
Joe, when something happens, there'll be guys who'll say, well, we need to do more, right? And it's always strange, because you think, well, why weren't you doing more before, right? But without your MVP quarterback, your offense is probably going to have a little more of a challenge than it has when he is there. From a defensive perspective, where do you guys kind of view your role in doing more than just your 111 each, and figuring out a way to kind of make things easier for your team as a whole?
Yeah, you're obviously talking about this week specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, first of all, it's a shame what's going on with Aaron, but you know, we're all excited as heck for Jordan, and you know, we'll rally around him, and we got a job to do defensively, no matter who our starting 11 is on offense. So we got to take that mindset. We got to take that approach that, you know, we're going on the road into a great environment for any of you guys that have ever been to Arrowhead, playing against, you know, arguably one of the, you know, top offenses, you know, at least in the last few years. So it's a great challenge for us. So we're going to control what we can control, and that's our effort and how hard and fast we play. You know, as I said, making them earn everything they get. And again, we can't really, you know, put much time and energy into, you know, who's playing quarterback for us, or, you know, who's playing any of the other 10 positions. We got a job to do, and we got to go do it at a high level.